Welcome back already to the Summit 3 China. I'm Godz from Beyond the Summit, and we have got a big day of Dota 2 action here in China. We've got lower bracket action. We're going to be going through two lower bracket best of threes. We've got IG taking on Newbee, followed up by Vici Gaming Potential up against Hyperglory Team. Two more teams going to be eliminated today from the Summit 3 China by Gigabyte. And, well, not alone for these games, as I'm going to be joined by none other than my good buddy Cameron. Basskip, how you doing, friend?
I'm looking forward to tonight's matches. Should be some good Dota coming our way.
Alright, well, draft is underway for our first opening game. IG, they had the first pick, taking on Newbee. I feel like the last time I cast with you, it was casting this very new team. IG and Ferrari was playing Storm in those games, as I recall.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about how things were going to shape up in China. You know, whether the new rosters were going to end up coalescing, who was going to do well, but everyone's kind of established now, and we've got an idea of how things are playing out. And IG are looking great, honestly. If this patch is anything to go by.
Apart from the fact they're the low bracket, this team as a whole has done very well. But I think more than anything, some of the other Chinese teams have kind of impressed. Yesterday was eHome 2-0ing IG. LGD seemed to be finally finding some form, and then Vici Gaming seem to have at least they managed to qualify for D2CL, so they're not doing too bad themselves, which I guess is good news for them. So it seems like there's a clear top four in China. The team IG are taking on, though, Newbee, they seem a bit lackluster still. Like, they've got a pretty stacked roster as far as individual talent goes and accomplishments, but haven't really found that good form yet.
Yeah, there's something like, I think they're around a 40% win rate this patch with only like 30 games played, so not nearly as many as some of the other teams in China, and yeah, also that win rate's just a little bit down there. I think they're still trying to find their rhythm when it comes to the draft somewhat. If you go and look at IG and you look at their top picks and their most successful heroes, it seems like they've got things sorted. They know what their favorite heroes are. They know what they want to grab in the draft. They sort of have their priorities set and the sequencing of everything, and they're good to go. Newbee, meanwhile, you know, there's a couple of heroes that they've picked a lot but haven't been very successful with, and you know, some things where it's the complete opposite. If you look, there's a bunch of one-off picks as well of all of these like random all-in pushing heroes that they've kind of been trying out as well. So I don't know if it's maybe just a little bit of experimentation or still finding their feet, but yeah, it's still not looking solid by any means.
Yeah, and I think the other thing with Newbee, I mean, they're kind of, it's going to be tough for them. They've got June actually drafting. He's kind of the youngest player on this team. He's got a ton of individual talent. I think, I mean, a lot of potential. Not to say he shouldn't be drafting, but you put him up against a drafter experienced as Faith. In LGD, you've got Zhao 8. So I think you're kind of right that the drafts have been kind of, the drafting strategy has been maybe their weak point, but with kind of good reason when you're drafting against the likes of some of these other Chinese captains. But we'll see what he has in store here. So to start things off, IG first picked Storm Spirit. Newbee went into the Queen of Pain Axe. There was an Ancient Apparition, and then we saw that kind of Drow ban. Some of those all-in push strats that Newbee have liked to do involving that Drow Ranger. So that gets banned out here, but it's IG who are going to get a big pusher. Lycan comes up.
Yeah, so, I mean, nothing really in the lineup I think that indicates that it's a super strong Lycan game, or that they're going for an all-in kind of push. But it is a hero that they've been pulling out from time to time this patch. I'm a little bit interested as to why exactly it gets this third pick here for IG. They could have fished for a little bit more information with another support. I think the Lycan, it doesn't do all that amazingly well against Axe, if the Axe can get the ball rolling, but that's always going to be the question. The one thing that IG do have going for themselves really well at the moment is I don't think Axe can come down and contest their lane. They've got Chilling Touch and they've got Howl. They can put together a really strong defensive tri lane if the Lycan is going to be on the safe lane, and I think that means Axe pretty much just needs to, he's either going to be sacked or he's going to have to jungle relatively early on if he wants to get anything done.
And speaking of jungling, I feel like that's one of the times where this AA pick can shine. When you run like a safe lane farmer, like a Jug or a Lycan troll that can rotate into the jungle, and then the AA takes the lane, farms up a Midas and Ag Scepter, and then just kind of sits in that safe lane farming while the rest of the team kind of fight. You just throw those Ice Blasts from kind of as far away as possible while your hero's farming, and that's where it feels like AAs can really shine, or at least scale well into the late game. So I've seen some teams make really good use of an AA when you've got that jungling carry.
Yeah, and I feel like that's something that something that teams have been making a lot of use of, but also the ancient apparition kind of fits into sort of the development of how Storm has been played as well. I think we've been seeing with the Storm Spirit, people have been way more willing to pick Spectre and Zeus and just anything that's going to give you a little bit of scouting or some way to lead in to the big ball lightning ganks from halfway across the map. And
yeah,
Storm Spirit as a hero at the moment, if you scout somebody with the Zeus ult by themselves, you start rolling, half of their health is gone from the ball lightning, you get the kill, you get out before anyone on the enemy team can even react. So the Ice Blast fits exactly into that as well. You can just throw random Ice Blasts all day, and as soon as you find somebody in the jungle, Storm can be right on top of them at a moment's notice.
Okay, well, we'll see what Newbee do in response here. They've started things off with the line. Their second support going to be a Disruptor. So they've got a lot of good lockdown for this Storm. From Axe with a Blink Call, Lion with his Hex Impaled, Disruptor, Glimpse as well as Static Storm. This is a lineup very much geared for at least countering the Storm Spirit on his own, but that's not always the only hero. With IG, it's always this 1-2 punch of the Ferrari as well as Burning. You can shut one down, but can you ever shut both down? And that's always been the challenge for most teams. So see what IG look to get here. They've got one support, looking for one more, and probably still looking for Luo's hero for the off lane. Although Luo is known for his Lycan play, I imagine it will be Burning on the Lycan.
Yeah, Luo's actually been... I'd say he's looked stronger on the off lane than I think he... Well, much stronger on the off lane than he looked at... than he was on the one position in the old incarnation of IG. I think his Phoenix has been really, really impressive. I think his Broodmother as well, that we've seen IG, bust out from time to time, have both done really, really well for the team. And just having those options available in the offlane on top of a bunch of already popular heroes, been pretty good for them.
So just a standard support pick. It's going to be a Rubik, one of Chuan's best heroes, something he's quite well known for, but a great pair with the AA. This support duo is just going to not allow Axe to get anything out of the offlane in theory, and that kind of causes Newbee some problems. They themselves have a lot of good zoning potential in their offlane, so we'll see what IG get as far as offlaners go. Clockwork, probably one of the better offlaners left in the pool as far as getting XP out of the lane, but not necessarily the pick that IG want with this draft.
Yeah, they've already got a little bit of initiation from the Storm. I don't know if they'll be greedy enough to consider going for like another full core in the offlane necessarily, because I think almost the biggest timing for IG to aim for here is if they can start pushing early on, especially if the Axe for whatever reason has a slow start to the game. The Axe is 100% the linchpin for Newbee here. If he doesn't have his blink at a decent time and he isn't ready to be setting up the team fights for them when IG come knocking with push, then that's where Newbee could totally fall apart. So we'll see. I'm thinking that IG go for something a little bit more aggressive, but Newbee just totally the opposite direction. They go for Medusa.
Yeah, they're going to slow things down. I think probably realizing they're not going to be able to snowball from the Axe when Axes are going to be up against a Rubik AA type lane, so they want to secure their late game. Medusa going to be your carry of choice. Have to see if it goes mid or if it's just going to be a safe lane. Queen of Pain probably more likely to go mid with this draft, although that is generally the lane where we see Medusas these days. So maybe a slight variation coming out from Newbee with the Medusa maybe being more your safe laner.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, there's definitely options here. Even weirder would be if you really, really wanted to secure the Axe blink, you could put the Axe on the safe lane, Queen of Pain off lane, and have your Medusa mid. But I don't know if I've seen a lot of Quap off lane recently. And well,
there's your counter pick.
Easy answer for IG with the Nyx Assassin still in the pool. They needed an offlaner. They probably wanted something else along with the potential Necrobook from Lycan to deal with the Medusa, and well, there you go, Nyx Assassin. He's actually really good against the Newbee lineup in general. Queen of Pain, fairly squishy, good mana burn, Lion, Disruptor, both pretty free kills, and even Axe. If you can just get one mana burn down on him in fights, that turns 3 or 4 dunks into potentially, oh, I've only got enough mana for one. So I think great pick here for IG.
And the synergy is good with the rest of the draft. It's just a good hero to scout around. You talked about how these Storm Spirits are becoming more popular with Vision. Well, Nyx just pops Vendetta, rotates through the enemy jungle, tries to find a pick-off. You can then throw an Ice Blast, Storm can ball in. It's a good kind of setup for the Ice Blast or for the Storm Spirit to go in for kills. So I think from that point of view, IG have got a pretty well-rounded draft. At the same time, you give Newbee enough farm, enough space to get this Medusa online, or if Moo can snowball in his Queen of Pain, I don't feel like it's been like a heavily IG-favored draft. Although I think they've got maybe the slightly more, at least, low-risk draft this game.
Yeah, at the moment it's actually June on the co-op, so it looks like they may actually be shuffling things around. We'll see. Maybe there'll be an extra swap. Nope, Moo's buying items. Looks like
initially Moo picked up the
there's going to be an adjustment.
It looked like they did a little swap right after they picked, so... Axe going mid against your Storm. You mentioned the offlane Queen of Pain as a possibility, and it looks like we'll get just that, but... Axe, is he going safe lane or is he going mid? Based on Rabbit's build, it's probably a Medusa mid. I mean, you look at this draft and you think, how does Newbee do well in the mid game? And it's going to come from Axe getting a good timing on his Blink Dagger. So in some ways, just... I don't feel like the Queen of Pain getting good farm is as important as the Axe this game. At least early on.
Yeah, I think it's a decent adjustment. I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about, that if they can get to the Axe Blink Dagger, then I think they might be able to hold and fight. But that's the one place where if Axe is struggling and behind and IG can just burst him, then I don't think Newbee have a whole lot of hope here. So just going to have to hope that Moo can get the blink and make some plays.
Okay, we'll introduce our two teams on the dire side. IG going to be running Chuan on the support Rubik, Faith, the captain, on the Ancient Apparition. It's going to be Burning going safe lane on Lycan. Mid lane's going to be Ferrari, 430 on your Storm Spirit. And in the off lane, Luo, or Z, as he's now called on the Nyx Assassin. For your Radiant side, Team Newbee. Both these teams in lower bracket are going to have June on the off-lane Queen of Pain. Looks like Banana going to be playing your Lion. Boots first for him. Rabbit going mid lane on your Medusa. It's going to be a safe lane support Sanshing Disruptor. And finally, Moo, heading down bottom lane to get some farm on, is going to be on your Axe. Farming it up down bottom. Looks like he'll be up against that Nyx Assassin. Neither off-lane are probably going to have much fun this game.
Yeah, I don't foresee too much fun, especially for Luo here. I mean, he's got the extra base regen just from being Nyx Assassin, so that's always going to be nice to have. But Lion is just such a ridiculous zoning support now, and you know, Newbee even already have this ward down ready for potential glimpses if Luo ever plays up a little bit too far, and even putting it in a spot where it's extremely unlikely to be dewarded if they randomly gave Luo a sentry for whatever reason.
And just prioritizing zoning him out. Moo gets the Battle Hunger level 1, tries to push him as far away as possible, although this Radiant Creep Wave is pushing. He got a nice little block off, so his range creep died first, and as a result, he will at least get some XP, and it looks like probably a guaranteed level 2 off of this, while June at top is getting very little. He has not managed to get quite the same amount of block. If anything, it's pushing towards the top. It's pushing out for him rather than pushing towards him. So this is going to give maybe IG a slight advantage as far as the two offlanes go. Just small things here.
Yeah, and that's the other kind of disadvantage about running Axe on the safe lane as well. I mean, even though Moo's gone for Battle Hunger at level 1, eventually you are going to start picking up counter helix, and just random creep shots and things like that are gonna push the lane, and means that Luo is actually probably going to get a little bit more than you would expect from this bottom lane. It does open it up for Newbee to just run pulls constantly, because Axe doesn't care at all about having to tank the wave, but there's definitely a trade-off.
They may be going for a kill here. Luo at bottom, in some trouble here. Axe can level up. He goes for the spin here. Could have maybe gone for the call, but looks like Luo going to go down anyway. The spin on this creep wave, is it going to happen? Doesn't look like there's any boots. Oh, there is boots on the Axe, but Nyx has his own, so gets out of range, and first blood doesn't happen.
Yeah, Moo leveled up like probably 10-15 seconds before that actually happened, and just immediately skilled Helix, so didn't really have the opportunity to... he could have held the point in theory, but I mean, he saw that there was a creep wave that he had the tank coming in, and he thought, okay, I'm just gonna go for the normal build and start clearing things out.
Not really a mistake, more just like easy to say looking back off. He'd gone for the Berserker's call. He gets a kill there, but all top lane. June blinking in aggressively, wants to go on Chuan. Chuan though with boots, telekinesis him backwards, and it looks like June gonna be zoned away from the Rubik. Could go for another blink, but without a Shadow Strike, this is not really a fight he's going to come out on top of. Chuan actually buying more regen for the lane. First blood, though, bottom lane, Nyx Assassin. He goes down. This time he's not going to be so fortunate, as Lion picks up the last hit on that one.
Yeah, it looks like he just got glimpsed. So.
That's where that lane ward comes into play. He'll TP right back down. Still feels like Nyx has like had a decent early game. He's getting close to level 3. Obviously, you don't want to be giving up first blood, generally speaking, but by all means, he's at least getting more out of this offlane than June is. June at top is getting completely destroyed as far as XP goes, forced to blink back to his tower, and this is just not a happy Queen of Pain.
Yeah, the howl damage and the chilling touch. The one thing that you can sometimes say for offlane Queen of Pain is that it's a little bit difficult for supports to trade hits with her, but not for this IG lane at all.
Yeah.
So June's just not going to get anything, and there's not really any shenanigans that he can pull either. I mean, it doesn't have the ability to really block the wave too heavily. It definitely can't go jungle at this stage, so he's just kind of trapped here at least until they can maybe give him the safe lane after Axe picks up an item or two, but that's still going to be a long way off.
June may get level 2 off of this. He's hiding by the secret shop, but in comes Faith. Telekinesis is there, and Chuan gets the vision for it. Pulls him back. Have they got the damage? A couple more right clicks with that Vortex. This will be close. The right clicks is enough. AA gets the kill. Chuan coming in at the right time, and definitely looking like IG are winning things as far as the 2 off lanes go. And taking a look at some of these other lanes. Mid lane pretty even on CS. Rabbit's a couple CS behind Ferrari Storm Spirit, and here comes Luo. Just to be a pest, deny some creeps and get some mana burns out onto Rabbit in this mid lane.
Yeah, I'm a little bit... I was a little bit surprised earlier because Ferrari was actually further ahead, but looks like Rabbit now picking up some damage, has his Ring of Aquila, so he's kind of closing the gap a little bit.
He went for double null on the Storm. This is very early game centric. Really wants to prioritize last hitting.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to... I think Ferrari, the only real build that I've been seeing out of him this version has been that pretty much straight Bloodstone rush every single game. So I don't know if this is going to be an adjustment for whatever reason. I mean, it is definitely a very good Orchid game, but the priority is just sort of become get your Bloodstone and then use the extra farming speed from all of that extra mana to pick up your Orchid afterwards. So I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on it.
So other thing to keep an eye on as far as Newbee are concerned, it's going to be this Blink Dagger timing from Moo. He's got 1,300 gold. Doesn't feel like this is a game where you want to rush a Vanguard or anything. He hasn't picked up his ring for one thing, so it doesn't really signal that he's going that direction. But he needs to come online and just offer his team a lot of kill potential on the map with this Blink, because Medusa is just a very passive farming hero, and June on Quap is level 1 still. So this has been a bit of a disaster for Newbee as far as that top lane's concerned.
Yeah, Moo's got to get moving ASAP. There's some small incentive to go for Vanguard Crimson against the Lycan, but I think you're much more likely to just end up with probably a pipe and a Vit booster or something like that this game against all of IG's magical burst. So, but yeah, it's definitely Blink Dagger and then go if you're Moo right now.
Looks like Newbee may want to consider a smoke here. June Leech XP, so at least his level 2 has a Shadow Strike available, and Lion picks up a smoke. Smokes with the Disruptor. Looks like June is not going to join up with them. He's just headed top the standard way, and level 6 on your Lycan means getting this kill not going to be easy. Storm also level 6, so both your kind of main cores for IG are somewhat elusive as far as the laning stage goes, but with Hex Impale and a level 2 Glimpse, Burning could be in some trouble. The Shadow Strike starts things off. There is a Glimpse to pull him back. Kinetic Field. Burning gets out. He runs south, and Moo TP's in. Will not get the Berserker's Call. They really committed a lot for this, and they're not going to get this kill. Burning gets out. That one feels like it was on the Disruptor Sandcheck to make sure he got locked down, but missed the Kinetic Field.
Yeah, it just... It's so strange that you're like, oh yeah, he's only going to run north, right? That's back to his tower, that's back to safety. There's no reason to drop him right in the middle of the kinetic field, but well, there you go, gets punished for it.
Storm with a regen room, going to go into the Radiant Jungle, catches up Moo, he's on 1,700 gold, and down goes your Axe. Rubik gets the last hit for that, and Chuan finds himself up to about 700 gold. June is probably pretty happy at top lanes, at least found himself some XP and farm, but his team as a whole not going to be too pleased with this early game.
Yeah, definitely not. And IG just sort of on the move already. Chuan's camping out down bot. Faith needs some mana, but he's got a Clarity, so it looks like he's going to be joining them shortly and should just be able to keep the gank pressure up, keep making space. You know, Ferrari with the assist on that last kill is just looking really, really scary, and Burning almost has his Vlad, so you know, even a Roshan becoming an option for IG before too long.
Being able to rotate into that jungle as well. We're not really seeing Faith take over the lane just yet. Considering how well the early game's gone, he doesn't need to just sit back and try get the level 6. It doesn't seem quite as important because both the other two lanes going well. Luo about to hit level 6. Your Storm, he's up there as one of the top farmers next to, well, his teammate Burning on the Lycan. So Ferrari looking good. He's going to bring out some treads to go with his double null talismans and just continue to farm away here in the mid lane. Rabbit, your top CSer on this Radiant side. Not quite up to par with the Axe, but it's Mu who's about to finish off his Blink Dagger in the jungle.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures
Looking like
are
Sanjay may go down at bottom. Telekinesis, pull him back, and where's the follow-up? Nick's not there with Impale. It's a TP in from Queen of Pain. June, level 4, is going to blink forward with a Shadow Strike. Don't really see a way out for Sanjay. He'll go down. Now here comes the return. Medusa going to TP in and everything here. This is a nice 3-hero Mystic Snake if he can find it. Chuan doesn't get the bounce. It's going to be just the 1 kill onto Faith. Chuan trying to hide in the trees. Won't get a TP out. 2 kills go the way of Newbee. And Nick's Assassin just forced to TP out. No cancel in sight. As Mu hadn't picked up his Blink Dagger yet for the call, but still feels like a decent trade for Newbee, but pressure on the top lane going to force TPs up there, so slightly Newbee favored exchange.
Yeah, just a little misstep there on the timing from IG, not getting the lift straight back into the Impale. I didn't see if Luo got body blocked by creeps or something trying to get into position, but yeah, it kind of feels like IG were expecting that kill to go much more cleanly and then just run for the hills before anybody could actually TP down to respond. So Newbee getting something at the very least.
It's just Ferrari burning just off on their own, not getting shut down, not really getting dealt with in lane. No one's farming against them, and now Ferrari gets on the move. They see Banana here. They're going to ball from afar, but it kind of reveals the Observer Ward, but it is going to be a kill going the way of your Storm Spirit. As he gets the last hit and everything. He'll TP home, kind of low on mana here, and leave Burning to push down this tower.
Radiant's top tower.
So for Newbee, it's just a support kill, but I mean, for Newbee, we just gotta... The one thing that they're banking on is this first big Axe rotation. Unfortunately, it's it's somewhat obvious if you're IG that Axe is gonna go and try and make something happen. So long as they have decent intel of what's on the map, they should be able to dodge it at least for now. But if Newbee can team up the Queen of Pain and the Axe and maybe go and find 2 kills between the freshly acquired Sonic Wave and the Blink, that would be great.
Right, balls forward, goes in on Mu. He gets the pull, and is he going to go for this kill? Another ball lightning forward, but with the Queen of Pain TP, Ferrari backs off. He has that solo kill if that Queen of Pain doesn't show up, but decides to play it safe, and reasonably so. There's 5 Newbee heroes in this mid lane, so even though he doesn't get the kill, he forces a lot of rotation, so from Ferrari's point of view, that is well worth it for his Storm Spirit.
Yeah, he would have had to go really far, I think, to get the kill, even if there hadn't been the TP. But like you said, it's also about the pressure applied and just getting Newbee to show where exactly they are on the map and what they're up to. Because if you see 3 heroes turn up mid, then you have a rough idea of where they can get to, where they can go and make a play, and helps IG allocate the heroes just a little bit better.
Looks like they want to smoke towards mid lane. Ferrari could be in some trouble here. Radiant Ward on the higher ground. Has spotted him out, but he's backing right off here. Knows this Axe has been missing on the map. And this is really the time where if you're Newbee, your way back in this game is using this Axe Blink call, and he maybe even suspects this smoke is going on. With so many heroes missing on the map, they're going to swing their attention towards top lane, where Faith on the AA, getting some solo farm and XP. This is a hero you don't kind of mind losing if you're IG. If this is a 4-hero smoke for an AA, that's kind of an acceptable trade, because elsewhere on the map, IG are taking Roshan. So Axe gets the kill top, but IG get the bigger bounty in Roche.
Yeah, and they give the Aegis to pretty much the best Aegis carrier in the entire game, so Storm Spirit is ready to go. And they've even got a Blink Dagger up on this Nyx Assassin. I didn't think Luo was doing all that well on farm, but actually has 31 CS, only 12 minutes into the game, so yeah, he's been putting in some work. And this Blink, well, would have been probably a little bit unexpected, but it is being revealed by Radiant Ward right now, so Newbee should have an idea of what's going on.
We'll know what's up, but we'll see what he looks to do from here. As a Vendetta available, some slight mana problems without the Arcane Boots, but for IG, they can play this farming game. Their Lycan's doing well, their Storm is doing pretty decently as well, but it's Lycan with 7k net worth, well out farming your Medusa, and probably a natural Necrobook game. You're against Medusa, you want to have that mana burn to go through the Medusa's mana pool. Good against the Axe, who's got a pretty low mana pool. And even just the damage output on some of these squishy supports can see a lot of use out of a Necrobook this game.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the item for burning here. Meanwhile, Ferrari picked up the Soul Ring, still doesn't necessarily tell us what he's going for afterwards, but I do think it's probably just going to be your Bloodstone build-up from here, from him. And Newbee don't want to fight that Aegis, so they're just going to do their best to split the map right now. But IG already sending heroes over to try and respond.
Rotation's been spotted by Newbee. They should know these heroes are coming. May see a Nyx Blink initiation. Rabbit on the front lines. Gotta be careful. There's your Impale. Mana Burn should follow the Blink. Call gonna be off the mark. Catches only Tron. I don't think that's the hero they wanted. Tron takes a Sonic Wave. He's gonna steal the Mystic Snake. That's gonna go through on 4. The Stone Gaze not bad from Rabbit. Ferrari balls forward. The Glimpse back will, well, maybe prevent him getting some additional kills, but still a 2-for-1 for IG. Luo blinks in again. Has an Impale available. Who's he gunning for here? Throws it just out on Moo. And now here comes your Lycan. With the Lycan Wolves, he's gonna chomp down on Axe. 3-for-1 now as Burning picks up the 3rd kill, and pretty decisive team fight. Good initiation from your Nyx Assassin. Just a good job splitting up and not letting the Axe get more than one hero in that Berserker's Call. They were ready for it. All in mid lane. Ferrari, he's not done. He's got a regen rune of all things here. The Ice Blast comes in. Finger will blow up your Nyx Assassin. Rabbit, though, still low. Ball forward, and Rabbit, a couple more right clicks should be enough. Ferrari low in mana. Has the Aegis, though. It's Soul Ring to give him a burst, and may go down once here, but the question is, can they kill him a second time? Mana not there for your Lion to throw an Impale, and they haven't really got the lockdown for this. No Static Storm. There's your mana. He got bottled up, and Ferrari getting low. Ball up before the call. Great telekinesis from Chuan. Will save Ferrari's life, and stolen Impale now as Chuan will retreat out of there. It's your AA, Faith. Once again, kind of the sacrificial lamb for this team, going down to the Battle Hunger.
But overall trade for IG ends up being great. They got 2 tier 1s, bunch of kills, just gave away the AA, I think.
And I guess the Rubik in the initial team fight,
yeah. But they're just going from strength to strength at this point.
Keeping your carries alive and getting kills on your Medusa, your Queen of Pain, your Axe is, I mean, you're looking good at that point if all you're losing is some of your supports from time to time.
Yeah, the map is really small if you're Newbee now as well, in terms of if you're just going to sit there and try and farm, you know that IG are going to make really good use of both the part of the Radiant jungle that they've secured for themselves, and even just being able to split push with a hero like Storm Spirit means that you can sort of keep Newbee even better contained. The Medusa still needs to farm for like another 15-20 minutes to be all that scary at all in these fights, and I mean, even the little items for Newbee aren't coming along that quickly. Like Banana, just because they got knocked out of their safe lane so quickly, hasn't been able to get up to his blink. He's still like another 1k away from that. And looks like these smoke yanks are just going to continue to be the hope for Newbee right now.
It doesn't seem like he can do too much more. I mean, Rabbit can keep on farming, but you're not going to... If he's the only one farming your team, you're going to flat out lose late game against a Lycan and a Storm who can just split push you down, avoid team fighting in the Medusa. Seen Ferrari in these late game Storm Spirit games just split push and be a complete menace when he needs to be, so looks like they'll come out of smoke here, at least on the Medusa in the enemy jungle, take out a Lycan Wolf and try and set some things up here in the bottom lane. Moo on the Axe, leading the way. He's picked up an Ogre Club, so seems to suggest a BKB rush coming out from your Axe, but still a long ways to go before he completes that.
Yeah, definitely a really important item to have this game. I mean, not only because of all of the magical burst that IG have, but also just the potential instant lift from Rubik as you go blinking in, if you happen to be in vision before you jump. And especially because Newbee have been chewing through all of their smokes for, you know, looking for smaller pickoffs. They're probably not going to have that many available for teamfights, so being able to BKB before you go blinking and just to secure your initiation is going to be really important for him this game.
So IG, they are dominating the map right now. They've got such a bit of control over most of the farm on the map. They're up by about 9,000 gold, and that's just going to keep on increasing unless Newbee can find some pickoffs. And for now, it seems like they're just sitting back, trying to get what farm they can. Queen of Pain has been a bit of a non-factor this game. Has been involved in quite a lot of the action, but it's been mostly support kills. And when you're smoking up 4 or 5 heroes just to kill these supports, it's not really worth it. 5 of the 7 kills have been on the two supports of IG. The 2 carries, Ferrari burning, yet to go down. And now IG looking to group up towards this top lane, it seems. Bloodstone complete on 430 Storm Spirit.
He always just gets this so ridiculously quickly. I mean, part of it is just because he plays the early game so well and always seems to end up with, you know, this kind of 3-0 something scoreline, but I think this Bloodstone build is the big reason why I've been seeing Storm Spirit be so relevant late game, because it's just a ridiculous farming item. The mana is extra creep clearing and extra mobility, so yeah. You know, Storm can clear out the whole jungle in under a minute and post some pretty crazy GPM numbers. And
you don't die too. Well, you can die, but you're a lot tankier with the Bloodstone, with all the extra HP. So unlike the Orchid build, if you get caught out by an Axe with a Blink Call or a Glimpse Static Storm, you're almost always dead. With a Bloodstone, the bonus HP makes it a lot harder for a team like Newbee to kill you at this stage of the game. They have to use something like a Finger or a Sonic Wave if they want to blow through all your HP.
Yeah, I wonder when he's going to end up going for BKB this game, because I think it is an item that you're going to end up grabbing on Storm at some stage, but we'll see what Ferrari ends up doing.
Smokes in, catches the Disruptor. At this point, you're just going to start adding up Bloodstone charges when possible, and well, there's his first extra one. Ooh. IG just with some good aggressive wards up on the map. Haven't really seen them use this Vendetta too much to try and go around getting kills. I guess that's one way where you can start feeding away kills as well. If Newbee are ready for it, have sentries laid down, and I mean, half the value of the Nyx pick is just having him missing on the map. Even if he's not ganking, your opponent's always scared of where he is and lay down a lot of sentry wards.
Yeah, and there's the wolves as well. I mean, that's the other thing that we didn't talk about with the vision.
That's the wolf right there. Just sets up a kill. They didn't even need the Ice Blast, although they'll keep throwing these Ice Blasts if they think they need to. And this is getting worrisome for Newbee. They're not really finding too much on the map. Oh, Dire Ward. This could... Disruptor thinks twice about dewarding. Chuan is ready there, waiting in the trees, and... Well, you'll Storm a bit further away, but... You don't really know exactly where he is. Newbee will scan him out now, going for that bottom rune. It looks like Axe will blink forward, take out the ward, and be on his merry way. 35 seconds, pretty fast Roche respawn coming up. Definitely going to favor IG with that. Another Blink Impale, catches out just Sanching. The counter gank is there. Lure going to need a Carapace, but nice Static Storm will lock him in place. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade to start things off. Ferrari balls in from afar. Wants move, but the Hex Impale on 2, burning. Getting stunned up here. He's going to be forced to back off, taking a lot of damage, but Ferrari going in deep here, low in mana. Wants to kill on Moo, but after that, he's got no real good escape plan here. May just turn and fight his way up. Rabbit going to get locked down by the cold feet. The Lycan Wolves, Banana. He's dead, and that's the more Bloodstone charges for Ferrari, up to 13. As Axe buys back, can't TP in. It was on cooldown. We see IG lose just one somehow. That looked like they should have lost AA. Should have lost maybe even Ferrari with how deep he was in, but somehow they just lose one and force out an Axe buyback, kill off 4. Great team fight for IG.
Yeah, I mean, the Medusa is 8.4k net worth, but her sort of impact on these fights is really, really minimal, especially when you're against heroes like Storm Spirit and Lycan. If you're just a Medusa by yourself trying to fight them, they're just going to cut you around in circles the whole day long. I mean, they got a good Impale down, and the Stone Gaze started, and then Lycan and Storm just both scattered to the wind, and Medusa couldn't do anything.
At that point, you just bail. Looks like Newbee may get a tier 1 out of this. A Glyph comes out, but not really position IG can defend this with too easily. Not really. It's an important tower, being their mid tower and all, but right now they're getting Farm Elter on the map. You've got the Lycan at the Ancients. He's finished his Necro 3, has 2k gold on top. Burning just printing money at this point, and, well, he'll probably scout out Roshan fairly soon and make his move into the pit once he realizes that this is back up. There we go, DD and everything. Do you see the DD? Maybe not right away, but I think they'll just walk past it. Actually leave it for Ferrari on Storm, so who needs DD when you've got Necro 3, Lycan Wolves, and Medallion?
Yeah, and what, there's about to be a Aegis double damage Storm out on the map, so that's too scary if you're Newbee at this stage. And I mean, they know about the Aegis, they don't know about the double damage just yet, but I think they're already quaking in their boots regardless. Yeah,
this Storm about to hit level 16 is going to go straight into that BKB, and I think Ferrari just prefers to go for these defensive items because the Bloodstone's all the kind of farming tools you need. You maybe have slightly less killing potential without an Orchid, but you secure your late game with this kind of a build. You know you're not giving up kills, you're not going to offer any of that sweet comeback money, and you get items which are going to be great if this game does happen to go 40, 50
Radiant's
minutes.
bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. The only hero that the Orchid really changes things that much on is probably the, well, it's potentially the Axe. I think the Quap or the supports, Orchid or not, you get that solo kill pretty much every single time, and the Medusa's already got Manta Style, so I don't think the Orchid makes a difference there. So I do really agree with just going for the BKB, and it's also a really good item for once they start looking towards breaking the high ground and being able to lead in with those initiations. So I think Ferrari's just planning ahead.
Well, we're going to blink to the drop here. He's been spotted, hexed up. This is maybe a bit of a misplay coming out from him, and whoopsie, blink forward under sight of vision from the creep wave. But we'll see IG maybe looking to capitalize towards the bottom lane. Rabbit TP out. Looks like he'll get out of there in time. Ferrari trying to scout with the Remnant, but it's too late. Deuce is gone.
I wonder if IG might even just go for a lane here when they have the Nyx Assassin back up. Without Sonic Wave and without Finger, how do you actually kill anything if you're Newbee?
Yeah. They have to use both those ultimates just to kill the off-lane Nyx. Yeah, I guess they can kill most heroes with those two big spells, but Lycan's got money for his BKB, which you get your double BKB on Storm Lycan. That's where you can kind of 5-man and take high ground. And that's kind of getting ahead of ourselves. We've still got all these tier 2 towers to go through, but I don't really imagine Newbee offering much resistance if IG do decide to go for these tier 2 towers with some 5-man Dota.
Yeah, they want their Axe BKB too badly, I think, to risk anything on any of these tier 2s. So maybe if they get the BKB up before the second or the third tier 2 falls, they might go for something. But as I say that, they're actually just moving heroes down bot. I don't know if they've scouted the fact that IG don't have everybody here, but
Luo's going to count at C2 top, so it looks like maybe they make a move towards bottom lane. They're going to throw an Ice Blast here. Sandshane getting the one getting jumped on, and that's a solo kill for Luo. Rabbit will just TP out and get out of there okay. So it opens up maybe a tier 2 tower for the taking. Although they do know that Medusa just TP'd back, but this tower fairly low here for Burning, who may just want to summon his Necrobook and take the freebie.
Yeah, I don't know why Mu is standing around there considering defending. He needs to finish this BKB ASAP.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Burning to
attack.
finish it off. He did go back for the BKB. Saved up money, thought about it for some time, but ultimately decides the BKB is the way to go. BKB can play on your Storm, so double BKB for IG. You've got most of your basic core items ready to go now. Starting to look towards some of these luxury items with AA. Seeing on just Midas and Gem for now. Looks like Chuan is going to be building into a Yule's Scepter following his Blink Dagger, and pretty standard stuff. IG in a very dominant position. It just doesn't really seem like there's any progress from Newbee as far as getting back into this game. Despite having a lot of heroes that can lock down the Storm, they're just not finding any kills on 430.
Yeah. Burning's courier, this is a totally weird thing, but Burning's courier micro is a little bit weak sometimes. I saw it in an anti-mage game the other day where he was sending out his BKB and didn't even realize and had to resend the courier, and exact same thing just happened here. Courier arrives, doesn't give him the BKB, realizes when it's halfway back to base, and then drops his Quelling Blade. And I think a lot of pros that also immediately pick up the Quelling Blade just for that little bit of extra efficiency, but Burning is... Burning's just like, whatever. Quelling Blade's gonna stay on the ground for now. Maybe one of his teammates will find it a little bit later.
T2 top getting taken mid lane. Ice Blast will finish off one. Ferrari in the middle of things here. He's got the Aegis. Chuan survives the Finger. That level 1 null filled. Not going to be enough to save him from the June auto attack, though. It's a 1-for-1 with Aegis also being claimed. Not a bad pick-off or two going Newbee's way, but they've got bigger problems. It's top lane. T3 tower getting chipped away by the Necrobook, and well, we'll see what Rabbit has to say about that. He's not getting any of that sweet Necrobook money. Will expire here, and Luo, considering going in. Position nearby, Vendetta up, but doesn't look like he'll find too much. That was an Aegis that was about to expire. It would have expired just that second, so not really a victory in any sense that they took out the Storm Spirit that one time, but a Rubik for an Axe, essentially.
Yeah, fortunately Axe does have his BKB now, so that's going to be ready for potential high ground defense. The Medusa is still slowly marching towards what looks like a Scotty at the moment, so Rabbit getting slowly relevant, but I mean, it's just whether or not Newbee can can win the next fight, and I don't know if anyone can really afford to save for buyback either.
Raven may just get picked off. Ice Blast, Mana Burn, Ferrari goes in. Down will go your Medusa. Didn't have mana for the ultimate. Now, well, it's a blink in from June. He's going to get out of there for initially, but Ferrari's chasing him with Remnants, gets vision over the trees. 3-for-0 trade, and now burning onto the high ground. He wants Moo. This BKB may be enough for Moo. It's the Banana support, offering out some crowd control to push Burning back, but Necro 3 available, and Burning may be considering pushing high ground with this. No creep wave nearby, so we'll have to wait for that, and by the time it gets here, at least Disruptor will have respawned. But IG still just going from objective to objective at this point, pick off to pick off. They're up by about 20,000 net worth, and it doesn't look like times are changing one bit at all.
Yeah, and Axe still doesn't have BKB off cooldown, so I don't think IG are all too scared about him. Chuan just hanging back, ready with the lift.
That's a blink in. Luo just kind of creating space here. I think Burning may just... No, he's not going to focus the building. He wants to go in for the kills. He says, you guys are taking all the fun without me. Now, Team White, Newbee. 5 on the sidelines. It's GG. 29 minutes is all it took, and this game felt pretty one-sided as IG take the 1-0 lead in this best of 3.
That was a sick, nasty Earth Spike from Chuan. I don't know if you caught that, but blinked in, stole it, immediately hit 2 with the Earth Spike, and Sunshine immediately just GG'd out. That was enough for him. So again, I think a lot of this game just comes down to what we were talking about during the draft for Newbee, that their drafts at the moment still seem a little bit off. You know, they ended up being forced into shoving the Queen of Pain offlane because they're worried about the Axe not being able to get enough done. And as much as they made the adjustments afterwards, it feels like they were already in a corner before the horn even sounded. So
they're definitely forced into something. I still feel like, I mean, you compare what Nyx was getting from his offlane just by getting a ranged creep block in front. He got level 3 when the Queen of Pain was still level 1. Feels like IG's support's got a lot more done. I kind of agree that the IG draft felt a lot stronger, but Newbee also just didn't really execute their draft very well. They didn't get that fast. Axe died before he even completed his Blink Dagger because Ferrari was doing so well mid lane.
Yeah, some of it is the strength of the lanes as well, right? You've got Rubik and AA with a Lycan, so Howl and Chilling Touch.
Yep.
Versus there's the Axe lane, so Newbee, like we said, had to compromise a little bit to put the Axe in the safe lane, and that does mean that your offlaner is going to get a little bit more farm just because of the push factor. But yeah, it was not a very pleasant game, I think, for Newbee on the whole.
All right, guys. Well, not much more to say about that one. Pretty one-sided stuff. We're going to go to a break now, and when we come back, we'll have Game 2 of the Summit 3, brought to you by Gigabyte. China qualifies. IG versus Newbee. I'm Godz, joining me as Basskip. Don't go anywhere.
I was actually one of the first people